A beautiful time of year to be in Tucson. The American Southwest is in spring full, and it is the Wildcat Spring Challenge from Bear Down Beach on the campus of the University of Arizona. A full day of beach volleyball continues to roll. Look at what we've had happen so far and what we still have coming up for you. Cal over Arizona State in convincing fashion. What a season it's been for them. We will see them next. Arizona and Stetson. It was close. It was exciting right down to the final finish. The last pair out there, 3-2 in favor of Arizona. And then Arizona State handled Colorado Mesa for the second time. Welcome back, everybody. If you've been enjoying Pac-12 coverage all day, Kevin Barnett, along with Olympic silver medalist Mike Dodd, now checking in for the evening session. Mike, this may be one of the best matchups of the day. Two top-rated teams.
Yeah, I think so. Just like the Arizona-Stetson match with Stetson and Cal, you got two teams that are in the top 20 and toward the upper side of the top 20. So it's a good barometer for them to come out here and see who can take the duel and move themselves up in the rankings. So these are big matches for these teams.
All right, Stetson and Cal set to take the sand. Should be exciting. What about Cal and what they've done this season? How have they done it?
Well, they got a great freshman in Mirkovic on their #1 team. She's had so much good experience. She played a lot with Plummer from Stanford growing up playing beach volleyball. So they've really solidified and started the thing for the Bears.
On the Stetson side, they have brought in players from overseas. They have managed to attract a whole bunch of talent.
Yeah, and also from Long Beach State, Sammy Thomas, a transfer. She's playing on their #1. You got Mirkovic against Thomas. That's going to be a real fun match to watch.
Let's give you a full picture of how it works in the sport of beach volleyball. If you haven't been watching, there are 5 pairs that play. No matter how many courts you have here, we have 5. They'll all play at once. First team to close out 3 of those pairs in best 2 of 3 play will win the duel. First 2 sets of 21. If needed, we will go to 15. Win by 2 because it is a sport of volleyball. It is the Stetson Hatters and Cal Golden Bears, highest ranking in the history of the program for the #14 ranked Cal Golden Bears. We will start you off with pair 1. Darby Dunn and Sammy Thomas, the aforementioned transfer from Long Beach State, along with Mima Mirkovic and Alexia Inman. Cal in their blue. Beautiful rundown, that's Mirkovic. Mirkovic, primary defender in this pair. And you see why right there. Manages to put it over for a point, and Cal's on the board.
Yeah, Mirkovic doing a real nice job of being patient and calm, their defense, waiting for the shot, getting the line, then getting the cut, picking up both sides of the court, doing a real nice job.
That cut shot goes wide, so when you frustrate a hitter, they come right back and work on them again. Beach volleyball, nowhere to hide.
Yep, the better the defense, the more pressure you put on, the more unforced errors, and that's your job as a blocker and a defender, is get into your opponent's head and make them think out there, make them try to do more than they can.
Whose head could you really get in during your playing days? Who was the guy?
Oh, I don't know. I try to get into everybody's head a little bit, but it just, it's kind of like being in the zone. When you start getting into someone's head, you feel their shots coming before they do, and then once you pick a couple up, it just seems to snowball, and that's the job of a good defender, is trying to make that opponent uncomfortable.
Joust, that time won by Stetson. You can go ahead and say St. John Smith next time. It's no problem.
Well, here we're going to see a lot of this, and it's interesting right now here in the desert because the wind, it's not a consistent wind. It comes up, it dies down, it blows from different direction, it swirls, and you have the Masters tournament players saying that the wind is so difficult to judge, and it's difficult out here right now, so ball control is going to be a premium.
And wind, not something that Cal typically faces. Their practice facility, rain and cold, sure. Wind, no. It's pretty well sheltered. Talking with Megan Owusu, third-year head coach Nate Schmidt, before getting married over the summer. She says that's one of the things that we do not face on a regular basis.
And to me, I think that's a big disadvantage. Like, you got a team like Pepperdine that practices at Zuma Beach. Right. It howls every afternoon there. And those players are great wind players, great ball control players, and that helps.
Well, I got a hold of this ball earlier, and if you haven't checked out this ball they're playing with on the beach side, it will move in the wind. It is not a deep, heavy ball. It reminds me of some of those early FIVB UAB balls when that tour began.
Yeah, it moves. It's fairly well inflated, a little more inflated than I think in the earlier days of beach volleyball. The balls were a little less, and all of that made ball control easier, and this makes ball control harder.
3 pounds, the official weight for these balls. Now you can see the sand getting kicked up and going directly right across the court for the moment, although at times it's blowing right in the face of what is now the Stetson side.
That last play, Mirkovic just hitting that ball deep middle. That's the savior in these tough conditions. Find that deep middle and go for it.
Mima Mirkovic, a crossover, indoor and outdoor, and that's been a big discussion for so many teams. Down the line, the winner that time for Mirkovic. Mentioned Megan Owusu already. Well, on the other side, Christina Hernandez in her 5th season with the Stetson Hatters. 2-time ASUN Coach of the Year, and in fact took her team to an at-large bid to the national championship conversation. And 100 wins as a coach there. Incredible success in a conference which has adopted beach volleyball rapidly. The ASUN's been all over it. Teams like Mercer, Stetson, and others inside that primarily Southeast Conference. Boy, beautiful layout there and popped over, kept alive by Sammy Thomas. Can she do it again? Not this time, won't be necessary. Was there a touch?
That's the call. Mirkovic is asking the official for the touch on this.
It took a moment to decide. Here's the first one she ran down.
Yeah, look at Sammy Thomas just laying out, known for her tenacious defense.
Played mainly at the number 3s for Long Beach State before transferring. As we will have a ball check here, and this is one of the unique features of beach volleyball. Call the referee down and have him check the ball mark.
So I'm thinking if the referee's down looking at the ball mark, he's obviously ruled out the touch already. Or no, he ruled that there was a touch,
because then you're looking to see if it landed in or out.
Looking to see if it was in.
And that ball did change direction precipitously.
So point to Cal.
7-3 early advantage at the number 1 spot. Oh, some brutal heat from Dunn, dug up. Nice awareness and a cut shot from Sammy Thomas. Took a little check down. First team all Big West just a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, Thomas does a nice job there of just scanning the court, going over on 2 with a nice chop.
And we'll get the jump serve of Darby Dunn once again. This time she goes to the float. Earlier she was spinning it. Good touch and a soft knuckle. A lot of good Canadian players in collegiate beach volleyball right now. I think at UCLA, the McNamara twins, Nicole and Megan, prime among those.
Yeah, Darby Dunn does a real nice job of first getting the soft block and then opening up just enough so Sammy could slide that set into her, and a nice little back knuckle.
Ball came on. I heard an early whistle, but that ball was already out of bounds. So no impact on the play there. Close action as I look around the scoreboard here. 5 courts happening, all 5 pairs going at the same time. Dunn will send it short once again, and the touch from number 15 is perfect early on. Let's update you on some of the other courts. Over there in the 3s, Rachel Noble alongside Samantha Harris. It was taking on Bark and Dueck, and then you have Ingram and Birker taking on Campbell and Micheletti. 9-7, close action there in the first. Now, what we think is quite an even matchup. Very reasonable expectation to see a 3-2 here, Mike Don.
Very reasonable.
Now skipping it short goes number 32, Alexia Inman. This is a pretty interesting flip-flop for this pair. Her coach saying, listen, Alexia in juniors, she never got served. Now, here she gets served all the time, where Mima always got served before arriving at Cal, and now she gets to work on her setting all the time. What'd you like when you played, Mike? You like getting picked on in service receive, or do you like setting up your partner?
You know, I kind of liked it when I think both guys that I played a lot with, Tim Hovland and Mike Whitmarsh, people kind of couldn't figure out who to pick on. And so we would get a mixed bag. And sometimes I would get served a bunch, sometimes my partner would. And either one or the other, I like that better than teams that mixed it up all the time, because it's more difficult to get into a rhythm. So one or the other, but mixed up it's a little harder to really get your rhythm.
Big net presence that time from number 32, Alexia Inman. Pride of Mira Costa High School, just a freshman out of Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, Inman's doing a real nice job of getting a lot of touches that time, well off the net, but just reaching into that high line and getting that ball back.
All-American last year. You're starting to see some freshmen step up into those ones right away at the collegiate level. Dunn tries to go short. This one's picked up. Mirkovic cannot get it. That one looked a little wind affected.
Yeah, that was definitely the wind taking an effect on the set and the shot.
This pair from Cal, best friends off the court. Sometimes best friends on the court, sometimes not. Coach saying it sometimes works for you and works against you. So much goes into the selection, the psychological aspect of putting these pairs together. You talk to coaches, they all have different ways of doing it.
There's Inman again. That time she's getting a lot of serves and just ripping that ball down the line. Catching Dunn, dropping off the net just a little late.
Still working on Dunn, and Dunn using the equipment there, going short when I don't think she intended to.
Yeah, that's a break for Dunn, because Mirkovic was right in that deep middle, ready to pick up the dig and off the top of the net.
There's a look at Megan Owusu, married in the summertime. Megan Schmidt, been in charge for now 3 years. Was the associate head coach at one point under Rich Feller. Played for Rich Feller going all the way back to 2010. Those remarkable Cal teams made all the way to the national title match. You might have seen Carly Lloyd last year, one of her teammates, who was a Olympian in 2016 for the women's indoor team. Captain on that Cal squad and been teaching the game ever since.
And it's interesting, the dynamics of the coaching and which coaches go with which teams. Right now we see Megan working with the number 4 team of Mia Merino and Carolyn Schafer, and just, you know, it's not a given that the head coach just works with the 1s and 2s. It's actually a lot of times they're getting more out of their 3s and 4s and 5s, and some of the younger coaches are working with the maybe even the better or more experienced 1s and 2s. So it's an interesting dynamic, and you see throughout the course of a season, all of a sudden teams really develop their favorites. I was a volunteer assistant both at St. Mary's and FIU, and you notice that the teams kind of all, like, if you're not coaching their match, they're like, why aren't you coaching us? You've been there the last 6
You're
matches.
Ours,
we need
Mike.
you.
We own you.
Yeah, exactly.
Slide on over to pair 3 and give you a look in there. And speaking of the team that you can leave alone, every coach has one, and they always talk about it. Bark and Dueck for Cal are that squad, typically, for the Golden Bears. They're in control. They've been left alone and left to their own devices. They have crafted a 9-point lead over Rachel Noble and Samantha Harris. A couple of juniors, one from California, one from Virginia. So it's a merging of coasts for Stetson, who's drawing athletes from all over the place. Stetson's in DeLand, Florida, if those of you that don't know. It's in central Florida. You're going to be south of Daytona Beach, but north of Orlando. About 3,000 undergrads.
Rachel.
And they are the Hatters. Just a giant hat. You like that, the mascot?
They are the Hatters, and again, working with FIU, we spent a few weeks in DeLand, Florida. Nice, sleepy little town, and cool place. I liked it.
DeLand, Florida, location for Stetson. Still a 7-point lead for Cal, Bark and Dueck. That serve will find its way to Dueck. foot pulling such a big part of the game for both teams. You see it here in this rally. That one, though, finds its way to the sand.
Yeah, Samantha Harris, number 21, did a nice job of dropping 2 times, making digs. The second one just unable to control. But that's a big part of your defensive scheme, and what can make a team so effective defensively is having that blocker that can read the sets and drop off and make it tougher on the hitters to find open court.
That one easily into the cross court. What are you keying on if you're a blocker thinking about dropping? Obviously it relates to the set, but what are you seeing in front of you that indicates you should drop?
I think the best blockers are the ones that are keying from the get-go. They're watching exactly where the serve goes and where the pass is, because the pass often dictates how good the sets are going to be, or how good the approach of the player is going to be. And you take all those factors, especially a player's approach or lack of a good approach, and the location of the pass and the difficulty of the attack off of the next set, and determine when you're going to drop. It's a fine science, and it's a rare breed of the good blocker that can do it both. You know, be a presence at the net and also drop off and play the defense. Tim Hovland was one of the greatest. He was just so cat quick, and he could get up really fast without, you know, doing any kind of a slide move or any type of arm movement. He could just get up and over or drop off at the drop of a hat and dig a ball.
Like a Stetson hat? I think of Kerry Walsh-Jennings when I think of a blocker dropping and making some really nice, effective digs.
So quick, so agile, and good at reading the development of the play. That's really the key.
So on the bad side now are Bark and Dueck. Noble and Harris with a chance, serving into the wind. Good left-hand stab there, have to convert it. And indeed, it does fall their way. So a little bit of a run here for Harris and Noble. Now they trail by just 4. They've cut the lead by more than half.
Samantha Harris making some real athletic plays out there. That layout, one-arm dig, and then getting up, beating the ball across court. Talent all over this court.
Harris, a player that's had a lot of success on the East Coast volleyball scene. Rehoboth Beach with Dewey next door. If you've been out there for a nice time on the boardwalk, maybe a little saltwater taffy. And some beach volleyball. Another good shot from Harris.
And again, Harris making a nice move defensively, waiting in the cross court to the last second, and then breaking to the line, controlling with the overhead dig.
A look at it. Pair 3 on the left we've been watching, and pair 5 on the right as it gets near the end. Campbell and Micheletti getting close to finishing off their first set over at the 5 pair. So the run continues for Harris and Noble. They're back to within 2, and there's a point for Campbell and Micheletti. And Cal, they will run now to 19.
Campbell and Micheletti, solid team, solid 5. That's another thing I've noticed, is that you have players that at one point, like Mia Merino, who's now a solid on the number 4s team. She was playing 1s and 2s all through her freshman and sophomore year, and then all of a sudden you get a player like Mirkovic who comes in, a freshman, and these great young freshmen are really making things happen.
Set point now. That ball goes long. Set point number 2. That ball looked like it might have found the line. Indeed it did. Although a host of set points remaining. Just looking for a little momentum here is Stetson at the end of the first set.
Campbell and Micheletti right now in a good spot. Arguably the easier side wind-wise, with a little bit of wind in their face. Receiving serve with a number of opportunities to close out this first set.
Easy bump set. That one down the line and perfectly done. 21-15. Good finish for the 5s of Cal. Grace and Maddie. Back now to court 1. Checking back in on Darby Dunn and Sammy Thomas of Stetson. It is 19-15 Cal right now. I think we're at set point here, actually 20-15. And that ball down the line, and that is good for set number 1. Victory goes to Mirkovic and Inman.
And again, Mirkovic is just so solid, hanging in that cross court, digging heat, waiting on the approach, coming hard, and just snapping that ball down the line. That's a nice finish.
Hope you're enjoying our red zone type coverage here from Arizona. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic silver medalist Mike Dodd, watching 5 flights, one flight, 5 pairs all go at once in this beautiful facility. Bear Down Beach here in Arizona hosted the Pac-12 championships last season. We'll be at Stanford in a few weeks' time, Mike and I, along with the Pac-12 Network, bringing you coverage for 3 days, the Pac-12 championships.
Jessica Gaffney on that last play, perfect pass, went up, just beat it against the block for a big point.
That went into the net, and count the point for Gaffney and Lindahl.
Yeah, tough break for Carly Perales there for Stetson. Makes a nice cover and then just gets a little too aggressive on that low set and couldn't put it past the net. And another win for Cal. Cal's just slightly up on most of these matches.
So things going Cal's way here in the first. And let's check in on the 3 pair still going right now.
And that was an interesting first set with the 3 pair of Samantha Harris and Rachel Noble of Stetson making a huge comeback in the middle of that match to make it tight all the way to the end. And Dueck and Birker finally coming through for Cal, but it'll be interesting to see how this second set starts out.
Wind kicking up right now in the middle of this point. That's the thing Mike pointed out about the desert. It is not steady wind. It's the middle of the point kind of mess you up. Play, all of a sudden the ball just zips away from you.
And that time Samantha Harris did another great job. She is very athletic. There was an overset. She just got up there to the net and put her fist out and was able to get a block back on the Cal side of the court.
The steady team of Bark and Dueck had a little bit of a rough patch at the end of this set. Still trying to close it out. Set point number 2. Bark lets it go, and that will finish it. A closer first set than a couple of others, 21-18. Let's take a look in on the 4s, the only one still in the first set. And this is set point. And that looks like a winner right there, 21, and Cal victorious. Caroline Schafer puts that one away, the freshman out of Northern California. An excellent opening for Cal, who has had an outstanding 2018. More volleyball coming your way.
Saturday at 5 on Pac-12 Network.
Pac-12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Everything going right for Cal as they take on Stetson. And I'll tell you what, we're the Leave Alone team, Mike Dodd. Why don't we send somebody over to get us some ice cream there?
That would be nice.
Yeah, we'll be fine. The broadcast will go well. I'll take 2 chocolate, please. Outstanding atmosphere at Bear Down Beach for the Wildcat Spring Classic Challenge. Wildcat Spring Challenge. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic silver medalist Mike Dodd as the second set starts for all 5 pairs here in Arizona. On our 4th match of the day, Cal defeated Arizona State earlier 5-0. Arizona and Stetson went 3-2, and it came down to the very last pair on the sand. Arizona taking the win there, and then ASU just defeated Colorado Mesa. We do have ASU and Arizona coming up for Territorial Cup points following this matchup. You're looking at Sammy Thomas out of Huntington Beach in Park City, splitting time as a youth, now full-time in Florida. Running that one down with the left hand, but it is out of bounds.
Tough break, great layout there defensively. Just couldn't keep it on her half of the court, and that is a great effort right there.
Mentioned that Cal does not have wind at their facility. Christina Hernandez said the same thing of DeLand, Florida. Or DeLand, pardon me, for those of you in Florida watching. DeLand, Florida. They don't have wind at their facility either. They don't see the same challenges. Here's a look at Christina. Coached indoor, played indoor. Had enormous success on the beach with Stetson.
That's just a really nice individual play from Alexia Inman, taking a short serve, perfect pass, gathering herself, just going up and snapping cross court. That's pretty volleyball right there.
This pair from Cal used a late set push to get by ASU. 21-19, 21-19, but they had to come back in that first set and make some plays. Coach saying they're still developing as a pair, still getting to know one another. It's a pair of freshmen. Mike, when you switch partners, how long does it take to kind of get that innate feeling as there's another huge rip on the right-hand side from Inman?
You know, it takes a while. It's funny because a lot of times you'll see partnerships that just form and they play really well for a couple of weekends and they think, oh, this is magic, it's all happened. And then all of a sudden, just those little things start to creep up, the little things that you haven't really worked out yet, and it does take a while. But in a year, if you play with someone consistently throughout a year, you can develop a pretty strong partnership.
Nice soft shot from Darby Dunn, ASUN Pair of the Year last year. All tournament team, all freshman Pair of the Week.
Yeah,
regular Pair of the Week. I mean, there weren't
she did
many honors she didn't get.
Yeah, she played with Kristen Lind. They got the Pair of the Year too in the ASUN conference. They really had a spectacular season.
One of the interesting things about beach volleyball right now is there isn't a lot of tape. There isn't video exchange between the programs. So you don't have necessarily a huge scouting report, a large volume of information about your opponent coming in. So what does that do to your preparation?
It hurts it, obviously. I mean, the more tape and the more knowledge that you have on your opponent, the more it's going to help. But, you know, the sport is becoming more and more national, but it is still, the reality is it's a regional thing. So teams from Stetson, FIU, Florida, they know each other really well because they're playing more often than not on their side of the country. And now you're having more and more teams traveling, teams from Stetson coming here and teams from California going back east. And so as the sport grows, just like anything else, the scouting, the amount of video, the amount of knowledge that you have on your opponents is just going to get more and more.
Yeah, development has been to put together a lot more teams for these events. For instance, ASU playing here today. They will play at home tomorrow in a doubleheader.
Yeah, you get teams now, and it's also that just helps economically. You know, you get a bunch of teams together for a weekend, and you get in 5 or 6 matches over the course of 2 days. You're knocking out a lot of matches. You're getting a lot of experience, and you're getting it done in a short amount of time.
There's a look at Brad Keenan, one-time Pepperdine star and beach volleyball winner with his buddy John Mayer. Now coaching ASU, and he will go back to the Para Club tomorrow, the home of ASU Sand Volleyball, the Sand Devils, if you will. They will host host Stetson in Phoenix tomorrow. That ball cut perfectly by Dunn.
Yeah, Dunn again doing a nice job getting a lot of serves and mixing it up really well. That time she caught Mirkovic leaning a little bit toward that line and just knuckled it cross court, down and hitting the sand.
Sammy Thomas and Darby Dunn, good rally here in the second, trying to force a third. That one off the hands and out of bounds.
So it's basically been Inman against Dunn. They're serving each other, they're going up against each other, blocking and hitting, and who's going to win that battle?
That has been the story this year for Alexia Inman, getting served all the time. It's a good-sized team at 6'1" and 5'11" for Inman and Mirkovic.
Nice little back set here from Sammy Thomas. A little choppy on the left side cross court. Those plays are hard to defend. Throws the block off, and then the defense starts moving early, and you leave a lot of court open. And if the offensive player has good vision, they can take advantage.
Mike, these teams are ranked nationally, obviously a factor in the conversation when it comes to Gulf Shores in the first week of May. And that was a beautiful swing, wrist away from Mirkovic. But I just had UCLA, USC, and Long Beach State, who all were inside the top 6. UCLA, the #1 team in the nation. The biggest difference I noticed between those 3 teams and what's happening here is I don't see a tempo change out here on the offense. I don't see plays being run. I don't see the same variation. Cal trying to come back. That one just out of bounds, and the lead now 3. This Pac-12 volleyball match is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Beautiful Bear Down Beach in Tucson. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. We've had a great time being out here for most of the afternoon. Mike and I watching as Anne-Marie and Holly covered the first 3 matches. We'll take you through the evening session. It is Cal who started strong against Stetson. Both teams ranked inside the top 20 nationally. Cal with a definite advantage coming out of those first sets, having won all of them. They will look to close out in perhaps 3 straight. Stetson, as you look at the pairs this season, a steady year for the Cal Golden Bears. Yeah, the Bears have been solid, starting with #1, Mirkovic and Inman right here, taking a little breather. Won the first set, a little bit behind right now here in the second. Yeah, a lot of credit from Megan Owusu to Derek Olson, who she brought on, a first-year assistant coach who's still playing, AVP, FIVB. We're bringing a lot of technical training as we check in on the 5s pair. Stetson making a solid comeback here. Yeah, Cal with a relatively easy first set victory, and Stetson with a nice comeback up 14-8. And you're looking at Quincy Birker, number 22 on the far side in white. Partners with Darby Dunn, and they've been very active throughout the Canadian beach volleyball scene, winning a whole bunch of tournaments. Also played at the U21 World Championships. It's remarkable to me how much experience a lot of these young women have gotten in U19, U21, Norseca's, junior teams, all the international opportunities that exist in this sport. Yeah, there really is a boom for beach volleyball, not only at the club level, but within the national federations from each country. A big youth movement, because countries are realizing, maybe the United States more than any other country, that we have a lot of top-notch beach players, beach Olympians that are older and getting to the end of their careers. So we need to get the Mirkoviches and the players pumped up and experienced sooner than later, so that they can make an impact on the international level. Yeah, the average age of the U.S. Olympic team on the beach side last year, was it 35? Something 34 up in that range? Yeah, I thought it would be even higher in the upper 30s. Maybe I'm taking a year off of Phil. Maybe it has to go back to 36. Both he and Nick Lucena. Speaking of pairs from Florida. Yep. There's a wrist away shot, popped over, and it's good. That's a freshman making that play. Is that legal according to the rules for a freshman to go over on 1, Mike? Yeah, I think so. Watch her get right into the angle, Micheletti. Protecting the face and dropping it over. All in one defensive play. Ooh, tough serve. Dropping it short. Micheletti on defense once again, can't quite get there. And it's 17-11. Now it's Campbell and Micheletti looking for momentum at the end of a set. Still, even though Micheletti doesn't get that ball, you know, she's 30 feet to the left, digging cross court on the previous play, and she started out over there and almost ended up getting that shot that was right down the line. So that's good mobility, good range for a defender. And if she can touch one, she can get the next one up. And that's what she's got to be thinking in her mind right now, and also the opponents. Micheletti out of Mira Costa High School as well, Manhattan Beach area. Thankful just to play, getting an opportunity because of the injury to Taya Neff. And we've seen a remarkable number of injuries as that kill goes down. affecting lineups. And one of the weird things about beach volleyball right now with these pairs is you have one person go down, that could shuffle 3-4 pairs.
Yeah, and that's a nice rip from Grace Campbell cross court, just snapping it down. Good side set from Micheletti. Nice ball control out there right now. The wind is now very calm. It's very interesting.
Sun just about to crest behind one of the buildings here on the campus of the University of Arizona. That ball blocked and put away. Counted for Quincy Birker.
Birker doing a nice job of staying up there, staying at home, putting pressure on at the net, and winning the point for Stetson.
This is the international team. Lots of international players, but not always paired together. Ingram from Australia, Birker from British Columbia.
Yeah, you look at Stetson up and down the line there. South Surrey, British Columbia, Fredrikstad, Norway, Oslo, Norway. They got players from all over the place.
Riverslade.
Riverslade.
That's in Australia. See where Micheletti goes, trailing by 5. Oh, big touch. Trying to work on Ingram, who gets the touch and the point. And it looks like this second set is going to go the way of Stetson.
It's a nice high swing for Ingram there, 25, just high off the hands.
Most outstanding junior beach volleyball player in Australia last year. What a get for Stetson. Well, you got to look at the movement of the ball there on the service. Great work by our crew. Short shot overhead and just enough, 20-13. So we'll go to a set point now the other way, looking at a 3-setter with this particular pair and this grouping at the 5s. Tough serve ends it. So we will play maximum volleyball at the 5 pair. Third set to 15 will decide it as we slide back over to court 3. Over on court 3, it's now 15-9. It's Dueck and Bark. Remember, if they close out this set, make it 16-9 now. If they close out this set, then it could be 1-0 in the dual score. A lot of other potential splits happening. One of the cool things about this game is you finish your set, you finish your match, get a point for your team, and then you get to go cheer on your teammates as they continue to play. Pairs crossing and nobody home in the middle.
Madison Dueck doing a nice job of playing some big defense for Cal during that rally, but this time just deep middle finish for Rachel Noble and Stetson.
Bryce Bark, number 4 on the left there, the first beach volleyball only athlete at Cal. A lot of denotations of that for so many programs. That ball was close, but just out. Take a look back at what's happening with pair 1. It's another one of those potential splits as Dunn and Thomas are carrying a 5-point lead. Thomas stretched out right in front of us. Continued excellent play from that defender. And that shot, well, you can see the wind. How far did that one travel off the right arm of Dueck?
Yeah, tough break. Dueck with a nice little drop shot there, and the wind just blew it a little bit out of bounds.
Parents and the programs, everybody getting video, different angles, plus our TV coverage here on the Pac-12 Network. Kevin Barnett alongside Mike Dodd. Thanks for joining us for the evening session. Stetson and Cal looking like it's going to come down to a handful of third sets.
Tough break there for Rachel Noble. Deep serve down the middle. Thought she had an ace, but just out of bounds. Big break for Cal.
Good short serve, but excellent placement. Has Cal a little off balance, but not enough. Dueck off the block and out of bounds for the sophomore out of Santa Cruz.
Yeah, and again, great patience from Dueck, hanging out in that deep middle position, picking up that attack and then finishing off the block for Cal.
There's a player in Dueck who started at the 6s last year, moved to the 4s over the course of the season, now performing mainly at the 3.
Moving in the right direction.
Good touch, has to go. Noble brings the heat.
Noble and Harris, very athletic team. Both with good hops, get up, snap that ball, and move it around.
And a pair of honor roll kids as well.
Yep.
Samantha Harris, number 21 there, is a physics major. Wasn't that your major?
That was a class I had for about 2 weeks until I decided that was too much for me.
Where'd Mike go? Court 2 has just finished their second set. They will be headed to a third. Oh, straight down, tapping it on top. Bryce Bark extending all 6 feet.
Yeah, all 4 players in that rally showed great ball control, great anticipation and movement defensively, but Cal just a little too tough right now.
Match point for a while.
Dueck, she's out of Santa Cruz. You can tell she grew up playing some serious beach volleyball. She's got great anticipation defensively.
And she thinks Cal is hella awesome, so. Cut shot is good, 20-13. And side out to win it will be the situation for Cal. Nice soft shot, good control, and control throughout for the team of Bryce Bark and Madison Dueck as they win. They are the first to finish, and the Cal Golden Bears take a 1-0 lead over the Stetson Hatters. Cal undefeated on the day still. That is their 6th pair win.
And that's a nice win for Dueck and Bark because Samantha Harris, Rachel Noble, they can play some ball, very athletic. So nice win for Cal.
Caroline Schafer and Mia Moreno still with a chance to close this one out. This will be Moreno. A healthy 2018 for number 1. Gets the left-hand stab, but sends it under. Mia Moreno, a junior out of Tustin.
Lauren Durham that time with a nice cut shot. Got Merino, Sandy. Merino's coming out, getting a little sand out of the face, maybe even a little in the mouth. Good defenders, they just can't get through a day without getting a little sand.
Touch and transition. That one did have to go. Cut shot is good. Caroline Schafer. It's actually one of those rules that we've seen beach volleyball play with at the professional level, the touch rule. What do you think, Mike? Do you like it the classic way where the block touch counts as one of your 3 contacts?
Well, I'm an old school guy, so I would say that I like it that way. I think the minute you lose or you make it 3 contacts after the block, you know, there's just less of a premium on ball control, which has always been part of the culture and the nature of beach volleyball. So to be able to, for a defender to take that deflected ball and be able to not only dig it, but set it, sets the bar high. And that's what, you know, a lot of traditional beach volleyball players like about the game.
Match point, 2-0 lead. In the offing perhaps for Cal. Moreno. She makes it happen, and that'll do it. 21-18, 21-16. It is now 2-0 in the duel. Big score for Cal and Mia Moreno alongside her partner Caroline Schafer.
Yeah, Mia Moreno just 5'7", showing she can get up and snap that ball deep middle. That's a nice approach and a nice finish to that match.
2-0 big score, but lots more volleyball to be played and a lot more defense being played by Stetson, and that is our State Farm Get to a Better State. You have to create those transition opportunities, and it's full commitment, Mike Dodd.
Full commitment. You've got to give it all. Lay your body down. Sammy Thomas, one of the best, just will never give up.
State Farm Get to a Better State. Without defense, there is no offense. Cal celebrating another win. Schafer and Moreno make it 2-0. Let's get back to the 5s. Micheletti serves. Her partner Grace Campbell at the net. Oh, who even touched that first contact? We don't know, as it came over and it counts as a point. But Cal is seriously in control here after losing that second set in convincing fashion. It's been a whipsaw kind of a match.
You know, and such is the nature of beach volleyball. You just wonder, how can a team just hand you a beat down, 21-13, and then the other team come out and jump out to a 6-point lead early in a very, very quick game to 15.
Well, the wind is back, but it didn't affect that set at all. Soft knuckle shot from Grace Campbell. Another high-performance pipeline kid with USA Volleyball.
Yep. Boy, this is the kind of team you like to see in your fives. I mean, Grace Campbell, lots of experience. Micheletti, a young freshman from a great Maricosta High School beach volleyball program. She's got all the skills. I've seen her hand setting. It's beautiful. And that's a tough match for any five to have to take on. And Stetson's pushing it to the limit, though.
Now for Cal, this is a pair of juniors, but from the same hometown of Manhattan Beach, California. Of course, a legacy of excellent beach volleyball in that city. Southern California, birthplace of beach volleyball. I think when you drive in, it says hometown of Mike Dodd. Nice hard-driven dig by Birker. This time is the cut shot, looking for the deep corner. And it's funny, it's hard to tell who wins the point from the reaction of the players.
Yeah. That one just a little bit long there for Micheletti. Gonna try to regroup right here and get a good serve receive. Going to Campbell.
Oh, that one fading quickly away. A little side spin action with the wind, and it's 8-4.
And this is with the wind, 8-5 now. You can see how one little break here and there can turn things around. Campbell just unable to handle that short, dropping serve.
I wonder if that was purposeful. I want to see if maybe put that side spin on it again with the wind. A little bit, not quite as much.
Oh, pretty set.
Good rundown, but no real offensive opportunity there. And no offensive opportunity out of that shot from Grace Campbell.
Campbell doing a nice job of staying with that play, and then the high line cuff shot she's practiced so many times.
Oh, big at the net. That one kind of dropping in, and Rebecca Ingram taking up a whole lot of space on top of the tape. Here's an update on where we have gone so far. 3s and 4s are over in favor of Cal. 1-2-5 all split, so the third sets will decide a lot in this Stetson and Cal matchup as Arizona gets ready to take on their rival Arizona State. We will have that match up for you next here on Pac-12 Network. Kevin Barnett and Mike Dodd enjoying now that the sun has faded just a little bit. It's a perfect temperature if you're playing or spectating. I'm trying to think of another game where they run the music the entire time too, where it's just sort of a party atmosphere, a hangout atmosphere.
That was a big break for Cal there. Grace Campbell hitting that ball out of bounds, but the Hatters were caught in the net, so the point went to Cal. They're up 10-6.
Could be 11 right here. Oh, that one hung in the tape, maybe just long enough. Oh, the wind carries it out of bounds. Kind of blowing a little bit across the end.
Again, nice defensive patience for Micheletti, just waiting there and picking up that short cross-court shot, setting up the point for Cal.
Megan Owusu saying this is my happy team, 11-33 in blue. They'll be a lot happier if they pick out a win here in the third and the victory for their side in the duel.
There you're going to see Birker going over on 2, catching Campbell on the way up to the net to block, unable to control that ball.
That one off the wrist, not a clean contact. Campbell long, and it has remained within touch here for Ingram and Birker.
Yep, and they continue to keep the pressure on Grace Campbell, going exclusively to her on that right side, thinking they've found something.
Keeping it to her left side. Once again, tough pass. Well, and her partner goes with the creative shot, Micheletti.
Well, that's part of being a good partner, you know, realizing that, shoot, maybe Campbell's just struggling a little bit here, and this is kind of a tight pass. Let me try to do something, catch the team off guard, and help my partner all at the same time, and that was a huge point for Cal.
So Grace Campbell gets a break from the reception area of the game. And Cal gets within 3 of a victory. Oh, tough serve. They're now 2 away.
Yeah, and you know, I saw Micheletti during the warm-ups. Her serving, she hits such a nice, tight knuckleball. I mean, it really gets a lot of movement. And in this wind, it's a big asset to have. Watch this knuckleball come off her hand. Good pass there.
Good pass, but a long shot, and we're now at match point, dual point. When you go with the 5s, you're never quite sure where. When you have 5 pairs at once, it's going to end up match point, dual point. Golden Bears.
Big chance here.
On 2. Chipping it down the line, and that will do it, not only for the pair, but for the team.
And for Micheletti and Campbell, that's a nice example of really good ball control coming through for them right when they need it in the 3rd set.
That victory by the California Golden Bears, that should do nothing but increase their ranking as another win over a ranked opponent. They run to 16-3 on the year. What an outstanding job by Megan Owusu and her crew. So Cal wins the duel, but not without some close matches, as we expected in this matchup with 2 of the top teams in the nation. A lot more on tap for Cal. They played a couple of times today. They come out victorious both times. They will be in action again tomorrow. They will get the home Wildcats in the last match of the day. They'll have Colorado Mesa before that, and you'll even see Mesa and Arizona in the opening match. It'll be 9:30 a.m. on the Pac-12 Network tomorrow morning. Remember, you go to that Pac-12 Now app, and you can watch whatever you'd like from across the host of channels. We'll have beach volleyball in the morning and most of the day. Men's volleyball, the final match of the regular season in the evening. UCLA taking on BYU. If you're a fan of volleyball, we have you covered here on the Pac-12. Still action happening. Plenty to be decided in terms of personal records and momentum, because you never know when you might be the team deciding a match. We'll look in on the number 2s, Carly Perales and Saniva Helland-Hansen.
And Hansen that time with a really tough jump float down the line for an ace. Serving has really been key for this duo from Stetson, putting a lot of pressure on Cal.
That shot just out of the reach of Hansen out of Norway.
You're going to see Hansen wait, make that move. Going to go back to practice and work on the left hand next time, getting that ball up.
This set has been all Stetson. They have never trailed. And it doesn't look like that's going to change.
Hansen that time with a nice chop down the line. Not trying to do too much, just taking what the defense gives them. And Carly Perales has been serving some tough jump serves in the wind, very athletic. Let's see if she goes for it.
Big swing to finish it. So the pair from Texas and Norway get a win for Florida. And the first victory for the Stetson Hatters. Duel already decided, but 3-1 now. The Hatters pick up a win at the number 2 spot.
Who would have thought that a gal from Round Rock, Texas, and Oyster, Norway would get together and be such a solid squad?
One's still going on. Inman and Mirkovic is where we started this matchup, and is where we will end it. That ball falls right on the back line.
Sammy Thomas with a great dig and jumbo to the back line, using that wind, keeping the ball in the court, making things tight.
Back in the day, that thing used to land in a trough created by someone's foot.
Yep.
Using the equipment, getting lucky. Count the kill for Inman.
The real nice job of Mirkovic getting to this errant pass and back setting a ball right on top of the net for her partner. Make the big plays at the right moments. That's what great players do, and Mirkovic certainly made a great play on that ball.
And the beauty of this game, everybody gathered around to cheer on the last pair in action. Cut shot, that one was perfectly placed. That's how you do it.
Done not only location, but just enough pace to get there before Mirkovic's extended arm.
So Dunn has a jump serve.
And she's on the side to use it right now if she's gonna. A little bit of breeze in her favor.
Toss might be problematic. She goes jump float instead. Good gather, and that looked like the outside portion of the line.
Mirkovic doing a real nice job of using her legs, getting low and just lifting that bump set high up there for Inman, who just ripped that ball cross court. Big plays for Cal.
I'm amazed at how many shots end up sneaking over as players hit into the cable.
Sneaking over the net, but again, another great back set from Sammy Thomas, setting up Dunn there to chop that thing off the top of the net. This is coming down to the wire.
Thomas and Dunn, who do you go after?
Well, they're going to probably thinking about who they're going after right now, which would be Inman down that line.
There it is. Inman takes a big swing. What a moment from a freshman at the end of a set.
Real nice job of squaring up her shoulders to hit that line and then just ripping cross body. That's nice deception.
Not able to get there.
Nice play all the way around. Nice ball control. Dunn controlling that first soft block with a nice pass and chop down the line. Now it's going to be on Inman again. I wouldn't be surprised if they go right back at her.
Match point number 2 for Cal. This the final match of the duel. Already won 3-1 by Cal. And that'll finish it off. So a 4-1 victory in the overall for the Cal Golden Bears. And the Pac-12 continues to play well on this day. They have won all of the matches on the afternoon. But that won't be true after our next one.
Nope.
2 Pac-12 teams matching up next, Arizona State.
There you see Cal, team unity, having fun, making a lot of strides. This program has really been dedicated to the beach and making their teams competitive and improving year by year. And there you see Coach Megan Owusu doing a nice job just keeping team unity.
Cal continues their remarkable run, already ranked 14th in the nation. They go undefeated today. There's a lot more Wildcat Spring Challenge to come from Bear Down Beach. Kevin Barnett and Mike Dodd back shortly with Arizona State. But right now, Cal wins 4-1.
Saturday, Colorado Mesa, Arizona.